The latest Gran Turismo 7 race takes us to Fuji, and I will actually show you why qualifying matters a lot. I'll share two of my races which had completely different approaches. The first one was basically fighting to stay on the track, and the other one a completely different experience. So, in these two races, I will show you why qualifying matters and, well, why you should actually qualify to get a better experience out of these races. Yeah, it is kind of slower on the start, like way slower on the start. It feels like he had like a jump start or whatever, but it's a rolling start, so he couldn't really. Okay, I think I'm going to need the radar here. Or maybe he's on racing softs. Boat. Yeah. What a mess. Oh my god. Like, what was all of that? I mean, 6 seconds away from the lead, but I don't think I'm going to get close to the lead right now. I also wanted to point out how easy it is to lose time when you're battling someone in front of you. The gap in that one lap went from 6 seconds all the way to 9 seconds, which is quite extreme when you think about it. I should mention that the leader was on soft tires, but even so, this shows how quickly time can slip away during a fight. You can see that it's quite easy to lose time in a battle, and well, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, these early battles are just destroying every chance that we have to get somewhere good in this race, so they're already 9 seconds in front. I don't think that's going to change much. Wow. And that's a pretty big dive, isn't it? He will go for it. Okay, I don't want to be here today. I just want to get a good qualifying run. No. Because already 10 seconds to the lead. And overall, this is exactly what I wanted to show you. It is my fault, since basically I wanted to qualify somewhere in the middle of the field, but I was just not expecting something like this to happen, especially with different strategies in play. And at this point, I just wanted to sit back, see what I can do, and try not to lose more time than it's necessary. Although, that was quite difficult in this situation. Then, Mano picked up half a second penalty, and I was able to pass him. And suddenly, I found myself in 10th place, which definitely wasn't bad, but as soon as you get close to someone, contacts become very likely to happen. And in all of this, I really cannot blame anyone here, because the cars just become so bunched up together that it's almost impossible to avoid contact. I mean, I even made contact myself with a driver in front of me. And this is why Fuji is, well, sometimes a nightmare to drive. And this is why spreading out the field here definitely helps, but it's difficult to get away from the rest of the field. So, I guess just qualify better next time. I mean, I'll try. But in the next one, I was able to even go for a move, which was unsuccessful. But then I started putting even more pressure on the driver in P9, and something fairly unexpected happened. Well, at least I got one place. And I have the slipstream, so I'm going to use the slipstream and pit in the next lap. I mean, usually the strategy here is to pit around lap 6 to lap 8, and some drivers usually pit earlier. Or depends on how well they can actually manage their tires. But recommended is just in about laps 6 to 8. I even started catching the driver in front of me and began putting some pressure on him. But now it was time to stop. I went into the pits and just changed the tires to the softs. And now I'll try to get the most out of these soft tires and see what the other guys can do. Let's pit. Okay, softs do not refuel. And I think I'll have to qualify for this one, because I don't want to be in the middle of the field. I really don't. But the problem here was that the race was 15 laps long, which leaves us only just about a minute or two before the next race. And that simply does not give enough time to improve the qualifying time. Even so, the other guys pitted and I was promoted up to 8th place. I mean, it was definitely not bad, but it was not great either. I started putting in some solid lap times and, well, actually, the whole gap started to come down. I even had some help from Manu behind me, and he and we were actually making some real progress here. There were no battles, no incidents, and the gap quickly closed to the driver up in front of me. And it really didn't take us long to catch P7. Well, let's get him under braking. Oh yeah. And I think our P5 has a penalty there. Here, let's just stay behind him now. And that was exactly the plan. I even wanted to do some bomb drafting to avoid losing time, and I think that was a good strategy. But from my previous experience, I know that these battles don't usually end up well, so it made more sense to improve both my chances and his just by working together. Unfortunately, he picked up a half a second penalty, and I was able to move back into 7th place, which was good for me, I guess. But at that point, my tires started not looking great. I just wanted to keep the race alive, and we were getting really close to the group up ahead. But the final lap was crucial, and there was simply not enough time to make anything big happen. So all I could do was bring the car home, defend my position, and just hope for the best. Then I had one of the most unexpected finishes, because I just didn't even think that it was even going to be close, let alone this close. Oh, okay. I got the slipstream. It's going to be P7 here. I think it's going to be P7. What is with the top speed of that Ferrari? What? He was still closing in. And it's literally 1,000th of a second now. How did he get that close? How did he get actually that close? Overall, I had really no idea how he managed to get that close to me. But just to show you that this experience can be much better and also much cleaner, I jumped into another race where I started from 3rd place. There was not much to say about this one. The start was clean, but I had one small problem. And that was that the driver behind me was probably on soft tire. And on the first lap, he began putting some pressure on me. And I could see that he was getting some insanely quick exits out of some corners. So it made more sense just to let him through rather than waste time fighting, because I knew that eventually there will be a chance to get back at him. And, well, that was actually my strategy for this one. I really won't defend much, because he's going to catch the other guys as well. Well, I actually don't think that I have to defend here. Let's let him pass. I really don't need this fight. I might as well use the slipstream. I mean, he's much quicker, so I assume that he's on the soft tire. I mean, I just don't want to get myself in trouble, that's all. And another issue that I had at this point was that the drivers ahead of me were pulling away from me, and I just could not stay in their slipstream. And after a while, I realized that the other drivers behind me were starting to close in. So this was not going to be an easy race. The new Ferrari it is actually slower than the old Ferrari in this game, which I found out later. Now, the driver in P3 had a half a second penalty, and I was also under the threat from P5. So I really tried to maximize the situation and take as much as I possibly could, but in a clean way. Okay, penalty. Oh. Okay, that's a place right there. Yeah, but which way to go? I think Alessandro is also on the soft, so might just let him by. Yeah, I think he is, so... It's really hard to understand who's on the softs, who's on the hards. So far in this race, all I wanted to do was just avoid losing unnecessary time. It was quite surprising that the driver in P3 had a half a second penalty and then decided to pit, which in my opinion was very early and definitely not something that I expected. And for the next couple of laps, including that additional early pit stop, I had clean track in front of me. And to be fair with you, nothing much happened until, well, lap 7 when Luke went into the pits. But I just wanted to extend my stint by just one additional lap. I wanted to do something different and then have fresher set of tires later, which could improve my chances of getting an even better result and potentially even go for that P1. And in lap 8, I went straight into the pits and changed my tires. Okay, soft, do not refuel. It might be worth it. Or if I get stuck in traffic. I don't think he did. 2.5. Let's chase him down now. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. And over the next few laps, my pace slowly began to improve. And with that one extra lap before pitting, my tires looked better for the rest of the race. As the laps went by, of course, the gap also started to come down, which was a good sign. I pushed as much as I possibly could to close it. And I noticed that the new Ferrari was actually a lot quicker on the straight, but then in Sector 3, the old Ferrari was much faster, which is something that I did not expect. The gap dropped under 2 seconds, then it came down to half a second. And on the final lap, I was finally able to get close. And I guess then the gap just went under half a second, which was pretty good for me. But then, I mean, he had a pretty good last sector. No, I think he's going to get it. He is going to get it. I tried. I think I needed one more lap to make it work. This probably would have been the chance. This probably would have been my overtaking spot. But overall, good race. Good race. And I believe this shows how different the experience can be when you qualify well or simply start at the front of the field. Feel free to let me know your own personal experience with this race and how you found it so far. Thank you for watching, and till the next time. Bye.